So we can, oh no, this is a continuation, the next half hour, then we'll bow out. So everybody doing this? Self-defense? So we've been doing a lot of, pieces from the form or like strategies when we punch. So one of the things that we did was this, right? And we lift up. And when you lift, you separate. If you separate, you press. So if your hands are here, typically you would want one leg in front, because if you're standing like this, you're going to be flat-footed. When you have your feet like this, then you have an option of moving a little forward and back, because you can't move until you shift your weight. So a lot of times, if you can't reach your target, you have to take the step. So even though you take a step, it looks like you move your front foot. What we don't realize is that before we move the front foot, we have to shift backwards before you move forward. You can feel this. If we're like this, if you're in this position, you really can't move your feet if you have your weight in that. So if your weight is even, you can't move either foot. So really, when you move forward, you have to move back. You see how that feels? You see how that little shift backwards takes the weight off the front foot? So sometimes we don't realize that, but we do this because that split second of going backwards is what allows you to move your front foot. Okay, is that pretty clear? So even in sliding step, if you're like this, it's really a minute shift backwards before you go forward. Because a lot of times when you're in this position, you might shift backwards, but then you want to move this foot because you're actually moving forward and this actually wants to move. So if you understand why that happens, it has to do with what we call double weighted, right? Okay. So if we're in a position like this and you block, how do you reach your target? You have to make that little shift. So that becomes a coordination. When I go like this, I can go backwards a little, then it allows me to move forward. You see how that feels? See? So when you're like this, if I go like this, that just allows me to go in a defensive mode. So that's why I say if you're flat-footed like this, when you shift, you really can't go forward yet. So you can feel that. So a lot of this is just understanding experience. So if you're like this, when you take that step forward, it becomes a pretty big shift. Whereas you're like this, it becomes that. You see? So that's how the quickness and agility comes from how you learn how to move your feet. So you always want to maybe be in a position where you have an option to move backwards or forward. Okay, so that's a pretty simple concept. Now, when we're here, you can cover too. So, why do you sit back or shift? It's moving back is retreating. Moving forward is advancing or attacking. So when you sit back, it's kind of avoiding. So Carlos punches here. I have to kind of pull back a little bit. So if I'm going to pull back, I might as well put a hand there. If you don't pull back and just put the hand there, you actually don't have any agility. You don't have anything built into that motion. So what you're doing is coming back and then coming forward. Now, you see what happened there? When I go like this, when I move back, so that's why this hand has to come in, because you don't want to walk into the punch. But you can't still move in directly, even if you push it down, because then you're going to be here. So what do you have to do? You have to move his hand. Right? I'm here. You see, when I go like this, because my forearm is slanted. If I go like this, I'm still here. But we have this, right? That little, you see that slanted. So if I'm slanted, then it goes like this. Now I don't have to move it all the way over there. I just have to move it to here. Why only there? Because when this is here, I'm going to turn like this. So now if it was here and I didn't turn, I'd walk into it. But because I turn like this, the hand is still here, but the change of the torso, the angular position, allowed me to not have to move it anymore. See? So how does that look when you do it? See? Boom. Right? So the movement, 1, 2, 3. Or 1, 2, 3. So this is what is like a double block. There's different methods, but a double block means you're working twice. Does it seem like it's slower? No, it's too controlled. Half and half, half and half. See? Otherwise it's got to be big. That's one movement. So if I take that one big movement, I split it in two, it's half and half, so it's the same quick. But my position is important. So whenever we turn like this, if we're in a position like this, form this triangle, this is your triangle, this is your triangle. When we're like this, we're moving, right? What are we moving? We're moving the technique. See? This is moving. If it's on the other side, it's moving, right? If I'm on this side, it's moving. You see? So when you do the second form, you do the high block, or you do the high block, it's a triangle position, the hoop, because when you're like this is round, but you look at the position, it's really angling in. Now you either go like this or like this, right? You turn your hands up, it's like this or like this. You bring your hands down, it's like this and like this, right? If your hands are here, it's like this or like this. So in gung kuen, you do this, right? If you're in the fifth form, you're like this, right? So this is moving in that direction. This is moving in that direction, right? So you notice when you move, look at what happens. If you go move, right? Your hand is coming, I'm here, and you're moving, you turn. Yeah, so you sustain the structure. So once you intercept, then you turn, and then this comes here. You see, so once you have your hands up, you don't need to reach. That's called interception or attaching. Once you attach, then the action, once you attach, you throw a punch. Once you attach, then you redirect. See, you don't reach for it. If he throws a punch, you don't start doing that. You wait till it gets to you, and then you feel that movement. You can feel it, right? If I throw a punch at you and you block, right? You're here now. Now turn that way a little. Yeah, without even putting too much, just make this firm and turn, right? You see how that moves? But if you're going to move like that, right, what do? You're going to come, when you move that, you strike here, or you strike out. You don't want to go like this and then wait, because if you wait, then this is coming. So you have to strike now, right? While this comes out, then either I block you or we both hit, you see. So you always have to hit or strike as soon as you deflect. You only have a split second to do that. So that's why in self-defense, you have to respond right away. So if you're blocking here, then right as soon as you touch, this is the opening right there. Don't wait till you get to here and then say, okay, I'm going to do this. He's already ready to block you or strike again. So what you have to do is create that action. So it's like, dit, dak. That split second doesn't allow him to continue with his offensive movement. Because if he does that, then you're going to be totally defensive and you're going to have to continue to block. You won't have an opportunity. So this is called opportunity, because when someone strikes, you have to strike at that. Either do that, deflect. So you notice the two hands? You see? That's the control, and to make sure I know where his other hand is, right? The other thing I can do is this, right? Beat him to the punch, right? So sometimes in self-defense, if you see someone about to hit you, hit faster. So that's a strategy. You don't want to wait till the person actually hits you, then you say, well, it's time for me to hit back, and it's kind of too late because you already might have been just, dazed for that split second. So sometimes in self-defense, what you have to do, if my hands are here, just strike. Don't wait. Don't hesitate. That's the worst thing you can do. Now that's if your hand's here, you go down. The hand is here, then if it comes in, then you go up. But you notice I move my head a little bit because I don't want to do this or stand rigid like this and try to, so you move just a little bit to avoid. So if you move, that's avoiding. If you move out of the way a little bit, then you can just put your hand there. If you don't put your hand there and move, then it ends up like this. Then I have to make a bigger block. So remember I said, two things, right? This is avoiding punch, right? That's 1, 2. See? So it's either one big movement or two. So a lot of times when you move in the form, you start to integrate movement. So when you chun kyo, you're turning, right? When you're sliding step, you're turning and punch. So you don't wait till you turn and then punch. That becomes, 1 and 2. But this is 1, 2, 1, 2. Or so the reason why your body has to be relaxed from, say, the neck up, and then the torso down, the legs relaxed, so that you can move your different parts of your body. And you're learning to move. You're learning to move. Because if I go like this and I go like this and I'm looking at him and I turn, I actually have to relax my neck. If I don't relax my neck and I go like this, then that becomes a unit, but it becomes stiff. So this way I can look and turn, always focus. So that means this has to be relaxed. So we do this as a drill to move our neck. But when you're doing the form, you're moving your body, the head is still. But the only way that can happen, if this is stiff and connected, then you're going to do this. So you took your eyes off the target, you're not going to see what's coming. So like any sport, you have to look at if it's a ball, you look at the ball. If you're playing hockey, you look at the puck, right? You got to follow the puck. Otherwise, you don't know where it is. Well, in this, you have to look at your opponent. Don't stare at his hand. You look at the body, because what the body does is a signaling. You can kind of telegraph what's going to go on. So it's just experience is one thing, but then understanding the strategy, right? So let's do this. It's okay. We're here. Drop, drop, drop. So we know how to press. We have it here in fourth form. This is all we're doing is pressing. But when you press and turn, see how my body's moving like this? They're actually actions you already have learned in form. But when you put it into practice, it becomes like it's completely different. But our body actually learns this. And they learn based on where these hands go. So we know this from this, right? So we know this. When the hands are up, they go down. When the hands are down, they go up. That's all there is. Okay, so this is like this. Now if I can do this, and then do this, that's like in Gung Kuen. This, right? So when one goes up, the other goes down. When one goes down, the other goes up. So that gives you a clue. Why when one goes down, other one goes up? Because if this is down, and he strikes, okay, then when this goes up, this goes down, right? If he strikes low, this goes down, this goes up. Because you have the space. And what you're doing when you're alternating your hands is making sure that you don't leave both hands down here or both hands up there. Even though in form we do that, but that's more for structure and identifying where it is. Now if your hands, you say, well, they're both up, what do you do? This is one way like this. So when the hands are like this, one of them has to go down if he strikes low. Okay, so that's how you do a low defensive movement by sinking. you drop, right? You drop your elbow and you drop your shoulder, right, Nico? Drop your elbow, drop your shoulder. So how do we do that? Just like this. Drop, drop. This is 1, this is 2. 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1, 2, 1. So this is sinking the elbow, relaxing the shoulder. So 1, 1. So why does this look like something you don't know or you did? When you go like this, thrust, sink, thrust, sink. That's that. Sink the elbow, relax the shoulder, right? Why it looks different? Because you're seeing it from here. You're seeing this to there. That's a change in direction, but it's a blend of the forward position to here. But we don't go all the way to here. We just have to go to here. You see? So that's sinking your bridge. So if you look at, you're like this. When you go like this, so I call that's a two-dimensional movement. 2 dimensions are better than 1. That means if I'm just flat like this, if I throw a punch at you and you just go like that, then you don't have any deflection, right? So when you go like this, and you turn, you do the same hand move, but you turn slightly, that allows you to intercept. And then what do? You strike. You see? That's why we learn to sink. But if you do it like this, the pair of movements, then both sides learns it. Now the only thing you have to add is a turn. And you turn. So if you notice in the 4th form, we do this, right? Right? So what are you doing? I'm here. I'm sinking. I'm sinking. I'm sinking and turning. Sinking and turning. So this is, if I went up in the 8th form, when you go, we have sinking and turning. In the 2nd form, you have this. So every movement, you find your triangle and it drops and do your uppercut. Drop and uppercut. So that's bringing in that deflection, right? So let's do this together. Ready? Deflect. That's in Gung Kuen when you're here, right? So some people haven't learned this form. But essentially this, and this is where the hands are working, but they're not parallel. They're not working like this. They're not in front. So this is the frontal one. This is the angular one. The angular one is the one you're going to use as a combination of this and this to turn. So that makes it a 2-dimensional movement. You know what I mean by 2-dimensional movement? There's this plane, then there's this plane. So I go from here to here. You see, so there's a 2-dimensional. So that's really understanding body mechanics. So when you're here and turn, here and turn, the foot you turn, the front foot you turn. You see how that deflection is partially to redirect force and partially to intercept, right? So if I throw a punch at you, you just turn. Yeah, no, just use the front hand like that, right? So if I punch, it works in either way. And here. Yeah. You can use the same side. Yeah, yeah. But don't come out here. Come here. If you go like this and it got long, then it's actually, so when you intercept, you just like that. That's enough. See? So when you practice this, just practice this with a partner. Just make it efficient. Efficiency is distance and time, right? So if I throw a punch at you and you're going to use this side to deflect, so your hands in ready position, and you just turn. No, this way, just like this. Use your forearm. Just like that, yeah. That's all you need to do, right, Andrew? And try it with each other. Might work with each other. Andrew, why don't you? Woody, you guys want to work together? Yeah, Andrew can come here. Yeah. So. Hey, wait a minute. So, a lot of times we put too much emphasis on the block. We put too much power into the block. Because, it's a fear factor. If someone throws a punch at you, you think you got to use a lot. Okay, you throw a punch at me, right? You think you have to put a lot of strength in that. So to show you how much strength you need, okay, hold your arm up, right? It's tight. It's pretty strong. Look at that. Look at that. It's pretty strong, right? Pretty strong. See how that is? Okay, now hold that tight as you can, right? Now if I go like this or like this, it doesn't take much to do that. So when you're here, it doesn't take much to bring that down. It doesn't take much to bring it over. It takes a lot to do this, to stop it. So don't be afraid of that, because you're moving along the side. So the side is this, and that's what we're doing. You're going like this, like that. So if it's two, it doesn't matter if it's two, because you only need to block one. Yeah, because if I do this, you just have to take one down. If you take one down, another one goes up. Or I guess go like this. It's just going to make the whole body move. You just have to block one. But nobody punches like that. Only in our forms we do that for practice. We just doing that for the body. No one, you would never do that. Throw a punch at someone like that. So just remember, yeah. So just intercept. Yeah. No, just touch. Just touch. First line of defense. Just do work together. All right. Learn to just touch. Just touch lightly. Just touch. Yeah. Throw punch. Touch. Don't reach. Just touch. See, this is called adhering. So if he throws a punch, just adhere. Now, once you have that concept, then you know touch and go, right? Touch. Yeah. Doesn't matter, you touch. As soon as you touch, if he throws it faster, you time it faster. But he doesn't feel struggling with trying to move it away. That's touch. Just touch. Just touch. Yeah, go to her midsection. Yeah, intercept. Just touch. Yeah. So it's like that. Yeah, just touch. Yeah, just touch. Yeah, just touch. Yeah, just touch. Don't even move it. Just touch. Like this, like this. She keeps moving, but just touch. Because that's a practice to get timing. Just touch. Just touch. Yeah, but don't. Okay, go like this. Just see if you're working. The first thing is throw toward his chest, and then you just do this. Just the forearm. Then do the other side. Yeah, not so hard, not so hard. Like this. Okay, you throw a punch at me. This is how light I want you to do it. You throw a punch. Keep going. Throw a punch. But hold it out. Hold it out so that you can feel. Okay, now I'm going to throw it to you. One. Okay, lighter. Elbows in. Okay. Go. Yeah, go. Go. A little lighter. Actually, when you start to press, that's your second action. Go. Go. A little lighter. Feel. Okay, throw a punch. All right, throw a punch. Throw a punch. Okay, now you do the same. One. 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 Good. 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 Okay, ready? Go. Not too much, too much, too much, too much. You know why not too much? Because if you do it hard like you're doing it, what happens? You leave yourself open. You can't respond. If you're pushing me hard, then you can't respond. You can't recoil. So you do it soft, and then if I do this, what do? Yeah, that gives you the ability to do that. If you react too hard, then you're stuck here, right? But you have to drop. So the fast way to drop your punch, when I go like that, boom, yeah. That gives you don't want to stiffen, then you're stuck, right? Go. Whoa. Okay, ready? And then keep it soft. Yeah. How about the other hand? Other hand. Yeah, like this. Okay, good. That's better. Let's see how we work together on that. Okay, how you doing? Just touch, soft. Okay, you ready? Like this. Throw punch. Throw punch. Yeah. No, you throw harder. Yeah. So your side would go soft. Ready? Punch. Just a touch. Just a touch. The next action would be when you put the force. If you use force initially, then you're going to be stuck here because that might be a fake punch. So I respond to that, then this one's going to come to here, right? So you do it, attach first, and then try to use, okay, throw punch. Stop, yeah. Go again, more. Another one. So you see, I throw at you, I want you to stay light. Good, lighter. Little lighter. Yeah, lighter. Good. Stay lighter. Good. Yeah. So the purpose of lightness is because I throw one, you block, right? Yeah, if it's too much, then you can't respond if you commit to that because you've already given up. Yeah. So the first movement when you punch, but you don't have to, you wait till you see what, so my second movement's going to, so if I go like this, I absorb, maybe I'll do this. I have captured it. If I go like this, then that committed, that could come from the other side. So that gives you sort of some timing and sensitivity to the motion. So first is adhere. Yeah, and you just so that you have control of the motion, and then your secondary motion would be coming from either your leg or your body or dropping. So if I go like this, if I want to hold this, I could turn that into, I would use this drop as a follow. If I go like this, I still have to do this or this. So the first one, don't anticipate too fast, because you might over anticipate and then leave yourself overly committed. So that's a strategy. The idea of moving your hands in using a structure. So this is your structure, right? We know this. We know this and know this. Those are pretty basic, although the most useful. If I go like this and I turn like this, you see already I have a position. That position is a structure. If I just go like this and then I'm just like this, then it's really nothing there. This is where you're protecting, is this space. So the idea is to come in. So if you're there, I'm going to punch at you, right? Yeah, and that's it. Now if you want to use that as the touch, say you touch and then go, that's what happens. Okay. So why keep it light is like this too also. You keep it light, you throw a punch. You see what my second hit, that's a dragon, right? So here, right? Boom, here. So there's your double block, right? One. So how do you practice that? Just you throw a punch, boom, boom. You get a feeling of the continuity of the motion. Right. All right. Okay, shake it out. So what's a double block? This is like this. That's using two hands. This is also double. When we do a dragon claw, right? You're like typically one, right? Or high, low. Then this is here. This is here. So this hand is really your touch. This is the go. Touch and go. So I'm like this. Touch and go. So what you do? These are both light. This is one light. This is the second light hand. So one is to deflect, other one's to attach. I can do attachment like this. I can do attachment like this. And I can do attachment like this as a combination. The combination turns this hand into your block, and then you grab. So this is just that. So the quicker the reason why that's quick is because they're close together. It's not because it's when you block this in the form it's like this. But what we learn from here to here is this. You see, so that's the action. But the more familiar your body is to that particular movement, then the quicker the action will be. So it's like this, you throw a punch, right? It's that. I throw a punch, you touch and go. So what the touch and go is this and that, right? So you block with this first. No, this way. Yeah, and then come around. Yeah, but come right, go. One, and then switch. Yeah. Yeah, go. Yeah. So the space between this has to be close. Ready? This one first. Yeah, and even smaller. Even smaller. So small I can't even detect that there's two. See, that's how it's fast. So you only, it's 1, 2 is too slow. You have a split second. So split second is this. You touch. So it's like it never happened as two movements. So like 1, 2, you hit. This is 1. This is 2. No, 1, 2. On this side. Again, 1, 2. Yeah, even smaller. 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 So how you make it smaller? You punch, right? The smaller meaning the time between this is smaller. And then it's quick. Because time and distance. So we have to work on that quickness for self-defense and these type of things. That kind of action is very shocking because it's spontaneous. All right, ready? We bow. Okay, good. Okay, so we can line up.